All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courteney Jacobazzi. We do have a First Alert Weather Day today that we have to tell you about, give you all the latest information because this First Alert Weather Day has been issued for the widespread rain that is going to continue to impact your evening commute. If you're getting ready to go pick up the kids from school, maybe just trying to get some errands done on this Tuesday, just know that rain is in the forecast. Not only are we watching rain, but the potential for thunderstorms, maybe even a few isolated severe storms as well. So I want to start with the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center. That is essentially our weather office that gives us the severe outlook for the day. And we are looking at an isolated chance for severe storms, mainly from Atlanta off to the south. You will notice that there is that yellow color that extends into parts of Clayton County, Fayette County, Henry County, down towards Troup, Meriwether, also parts of Upson County as well. So that's including the towns of LaGrange, Thomaston, even Peachtree City. We'll be watching extra closely for you later this afternoon, especially between the hours of about 4 and 8 p.m. It just looks like we'll have enough what we call instability, that is the fuel for storms, and enough wind shear that could result in some isolated severe storms with just, again, that greater threat, that kind of zone that we're going to be watching really carefully, mainly in parts of southwest Georgia, including, again, the towns of LaGrange all the way into Peachtree City and into Upson County as well. But again, isolated severe storms possible. And I will note, even outside of this severe outlook, if you're not in that green shaded color, there is still the potential for a stronger storm. We have been tracking a couple of stronger storms north of Atlanta throughout the afternoon that have carried 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, also some very small hail. So even if you're outside the threshold of that severe outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, don't think you're completely out of the way when it comes to the potential for some storms, maybe even a stronger storm. Today is just overall going to be a pretty messy day, hence the reason for our First Alert Weather Day. This is what we're really going to be looking for everyone, the flash flood threat. Notice that slight risk extending all along the I-85 corridor. We've already seen some very heavy rain develop there, and that will continue through the rest of the day today, even as we head into the night. We're waiting for a cold front to make its way through, and it's going to very slowly move through the area, and that's just going to continue to generate those heavy showers. And we could see some training of showers and storms develop, and what that means is they kind of hang out or develop over the same areas and just produce a lot of very heavy rainfall. I'll show you some rainfall totals, but just to kind of let you know, we're looking at an additional maybe 2 inches of rain or so, and some of these heavier pockets of rain over the next about 12 hours. So that will definitely result in that potential for flash flooding with, again, that greatest threat mainly along the I-85 corridor there. Here's a look at First Alert radar right now. If you're watching with us live here, this is just after 2 o'clock, and very heavy rain widespread across the area. It looks like a very heavy band of rain extending all the way from Dahlonega through Cherokee County into Cobb County and Bartow County. Some heavy rain starting to set up also from Troup and Meriwether County. And you can see how it's kind of surging in from the south there. It's moving off to the northeast. So everything's coming in from the south, moving off to the northeast. That's an indication of all this moisture getting pumped in from the Gulf. And that is giving us that instability, that fuel that we haven't seen in a while to generate that thunderstorm threat for the day today. But again, widespread rain across Metro, that coverage right now at about 80 to 90%, and that will continue into your evening commute as well. So let's take you through First Alert Futurecast here. Going towards around 3 o'clock. So if you're going to pick up the kids from school today, again, maybe running some errands, just know the roads are going to be wet, heavy rain likely across the city of Atlanta, all the way down to LaGrange, including Coweta County. So if you have to travel along I-85, especially south of the city later this afternoon within the next hour or so, just know that you're going to need to give yourself some extra time. You're also going to need to, of course, just take it very easy on the roadways, give yourself enough space between you and the car in front of you, and just be mindful of the potential for some ponding in the roadways. You know, sometimes that can kind of clip your car and catch you off guard. You just want to be really, really careful driving today. And then taking you into 5 o'clock, that heavy rain continues, and potentially, again, training in some of the same areas. You're looking at LaGrange right now. We're talking on and off showers for several hours, and not just showers, but heavy downpours, and that could result in that, again, additional 1 to 2 inches of rain in some spots that will more than likely lead to some isolated flash flooding in the roadways. If you live in some flood-prone areas, you know some of the streets around here that are just prone to flooding. If it is one of those roads, more than likely today it is going to see some of that. You're going to see those trouble spots popping up today. So around 5 o'clock, widespread rain continuing, still watching for the potential for severe weather at this point. And when I do say severe storms, we are looking at primarily The damaging straight line wind threat, so we're talking about 60 miles per hour in any severe storms. Those damaging straight line winds could knock down trees, especially with a saturated ground, maybe even an isolated tornado or two as well. We can't completely rule out that threat for us across the area today. We do have the higher wind shear value, which is that change in wind direction and speed with height that could result in, again, that threat of maybe a brief isolated tornado. That's not our greatest threat today. The greatest threat is going to be the flash flood threat and also the wind damage threat with any of these storms that develop, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on some rotation and any storms that start to develop throughout the day, again, especially in areas south and west of the area. But I think our eyes are going to be kept on all of North Georgia throughout the rest of the day today. The atmosphere just has the dynamics for the potential for some isolated severe storms, but that little sector south and west of the city that was highlighted in that yellow, that's the place where all the ingredients are going to come together best, it looks like, but that doesn't mean that all of North Georgia is out of the clear. Let's take you through the rest of the night. 9 o'clock, rain still widespread, so it is going to be a really damp evening. If you had any dinner plans tonight, maybe you were going to go see some Christmas lights tonight, go to the botanical gardens, not the best night to do that tonight. It is going to be really, really saturated, just kind of soupy in the ground. And then taking you into tomorrow morning, rain starts to clear out. Temperatures at this point still mild compared to what the rest of the day is going to look like. We're talking 50s and 60s to send you out the door with some cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of lingering mist tomorrow morning, and skies will start to clear through the day and temperatures will drop. I call days like tomorrow backwards days. We start warmer and then temperatures cool through the afternoon. So we're talking 40s in the afternoon and it is going to be windy. So it's going to feel even colder. Let's go back quickly before we talk about the first alert weather day for tomorrow for the cold and the wind, how much rain we could pick up through the day today and into tonight. So we're looking at a widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain from Atlanta off to the south. Again, that I-85 corridor in south has that highest rainfall threat through the day today as that front moves through. We just have a lot of moisture getting pumped in from the Gulf, and that's going to aid in those heavy downpours through the day, resulting in numbers like this. And we're looking at 1 to 2+ inches of rain in some spots, and that's what we could pick up generally in a couple of weeks, and we're talking in just a few hours. So that is the reason for that flash flood threat. That is literally the definition of flash flooding, a lot of rain in a little bit of time, and the ground can only hold so much. So we'll be watching those rainfall totals really carefully. Of course, we'll be watching for maybe any flash flood watches, flash flood warnings. None of that has been discussed yet. We have an open line of communication with the National Weather Service over in Peachtree City, and that's the folks who will tell us if there's any storms that we need to watch that are developing and acting up a little bit. That's who gives us an idea if we are going to have any kind of severe thunderstorm watch, any kind of tornado watch. As of right now, we haven't seen any talk of giving a flash flood watch or developing any kind of flash flood warnings, but if any of those do pop up throughout the day, we'll let you know so you and your family can be prepared and kind of get an idea of what's going on in your community. Now, going into tomorrow, we do have a first alert weather day, again, not because of the rain and storms, but then our transition goes to the cold, and boy, is it going to be cold and windy, which means it's going to feel even colder. Going through the morning, we will wake up in the 50s, and you actually just saw us update that because First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez is going punching in all the numbers for you hour by hour, updating you as it goes. So here's a look at what to expect tomorrow. We'll wake up again in the 50s, maybe a few showers around that 6 o'clock hour, and then we will dry out and the wind will pick up. That is a sign that the cold air is ushering in. When you start to feel that wind build through the day, just know that that means the cold air is coming, y'all. And we'll hang out in the 40s all day tomorrow. With the wind, it is going to feel even colder. So tomorrow will be the day that you're going to want to pack the coat with you. You'll probably want the hat as well. Make sure the kids go to the bus stop prepared with that tomorrow, because as they get off the bus tomorrow around 2, 3 o'clock, or you go to pick them up from school, they're waiting in the car line for you. It is going to be cold and it is going to be windy. And we're talking wind gusts upwards of potentially 35 to 40 miles per hour in the afternoon tomorrow. That means naturally it's going to feel colder. So here's a look at the feels like temperatures. Around 3 o'clock, this is typically kind of the heat of the day this time of year. We're looking at feels like temperatures anywhere from the low 30s. It might struggle to feel warmer than freezing up in the mountains tomorrow, to maybe upper 30s in the city of Atlanta, low 40s south of the city. So yes, you will need to bundle up. If you have any evening plans tomorrow, here's a look at 8 o'clock. Upper 20s to low 30s, maybe mid 30s if you're lucky, is what it'll feel like as the wind continues to blow tomorrow evening. And then that will just continue into Thursday morning. In fact, Thursday morning, our coldest morning on the way. Temperatures at the surface will drop near freezing, if not below freezing in some spots north of the city. And we will still have at least a light wind. And when the air is dry and cool like that, it doesn't take a very gusty wind for it to feel a lot colder. So it is going to feel more like the low 20s Thursday. You will absolutely need the coats Thursday morning. Let's talk about those morning lows because, again, you'll need the coats, especially Thursday and Friday morning. Temperatures will moderate closer to average as we head into the weekend, with temperatures in the morning, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday in the low to mid 40s. So still jacket worthy. Of course, we are in December after all, but it won't be frigid. through the weekend. Afternoon high temperatures will go back into the 50s. We might have a wedge built in on Saturday. That could cool temperatures in the 40s to low 50s, maybe give us some extra cloud cover on Saturday. But overall, the weekend not looking half bad. We do have a rain chance in the 7-day forecast over the weekend. It looks like we'll have another weather system move in. But the kind of question is how much moisture will generate back after our weather system moving in right now. Plus that wedge building in. So there's a lot of question marks over the weekend, but right now it looks like maybe late Saturday a few showers. Sunday does look to be a slightly wetter day of the two, with rain continuing into Monday and Tuesday, but temperatures will go back into the 60s next week, which will honestly probably feel warm after tomorrow. So tomorrow, our first alert weather day. For the cold air that's going to be ushering in showers possible in the morning, drying conditions, and cooler conditions through the afternoon. Again, when you feel that wind pick up on Wednesday, that's when you're going to know that cold air is rushing in. Temperatures will drop into the 40s through the day, and then we'll go back into the 50s going into Friday and Saturday with small rain chances for the weekend and beyond. So we are heading into a little bit more of an unsettled pattern, but you will definitely need the coats tomorrow afternoon, Thursday morning, and Friday morning, with temperatures finally warming back into the 50s. The weekend does look a little cool, a little damp, a little cloudier, but overall, get ready for the cold. It's on the way. And of course, we will continue to update you on the First Alert Weather app. That is a great tool to have today as we're tracking the rain, tracking that potential for flash flooding, and maybe even some isolated severe storms. That First Alert Weather app will give you everything you need to know to let you know if rain is in your area, storms are in your area, and of course, updates from our First Alert Weather team. Make it a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much, as always, for spending time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus, and we'll catch you here next time.